Can you see me? Can you also see my screen? You can respond with a thumbs up or you can write yes in the chat box if you can see me clearly. Okay, great. Thank you for responding. So it'll be great if you all could also turn your cameras on because the purpose for today is to make this session very fun and very interactive. There are 61 of us here. Let us all come together. Let us all solve these MCQs together. And it's really going to be a lot of fun when we see the excitement and enthusiasm on each other's faces. So I see one or two people here. It's nice to see you. Can we see the rest also? And don't worry about the faces getting posted somewhere because your faces will not be put anywhere online on YouTube. It's just this session. Okay. All right. So let's begin with today's session. So, as you know that we have recently introduced an MCQ solving series, and the main highlight of this is that this is particularly for master's entrances, CUET, PG as well. And our Cyclopedia, we cater to all the psychology students preparing for entrance exams, interview preparations, academic mentorship, and guidance. For those of you who are new today, I'll just introduce who we are to you. I'll take 2-3 minutes for that. So, I am Vidhi, and you may also know me as the young psychologist. I have recently completed my master's in counseling psychology from Christ Bangalore Central Campus, and I have been teaching students for entrances and college exams and interviews from the past 3 years. And when I was a student myself preparing for these entrances, I cleared entrances like CUET, PG, TestNet, and I was also offered admission into colleges like DU, Ambedkar University, VHU, Christ, for both the courses, clinical and counseling, MAHE, all of that. So yeah, that's a little bit about my background. And along with me, there's Manvi. We both of us are co-founders. We founded Cyclopedia, and Manvi is about to finish her master's in psychology from University of Delhi North Campus. And together, we have launched a lot of courses. Um, We've been working since the past 3.5 years, as I shared, and we currently have a CUET preparation batch going on. This is the third year for that, and over the past 2 years, we've taught almost 1,000 students. And right now, our old students are also about to complete their masters. So that is about our work, and we have these three courses running right now: CUET, MA Clinical, the new RCI entrance prep course that has come, the new degree in place of MPhil. And we are also starting our statistics and research crash course for master's entrances from tomorrow. You can find all the details for the same on our website, and all our contact details have been mentioned in each slide of the PPT, so you can refer to that as well. Okay, so before we begin the session, before we begin solving the questions, I want to hear from you a little bit. In terms of MCQ practice, first tell me how many of you have solved MCQs before. So if you have solved MCQs before, you can write yes in the chat box, and you have not solved any MCQ before, you can write no in the chat box. Okay, so I see most of you have already solved MCQs, which is a great thing because people often procrastinate on solving MCQs, and you should not do that. Okay, I see a few no's also. So those who are saying no, today is your first day solving these MCQs, and you're gonna learn a lot. Okay, next question. In terms of your entrance preparation, how confident do you feel from a scale of 1 to 10? Where 1 is, I don't feel confident at all, I have not started, and 10 is the highest level of confidence that I am gonna crack everything and I have studied, I know everything. So, where do you lie currently? 1. I'm quite surprised to see that. And I was actually thinking I'm gonna get a range of responses. I see 1. I see people saying they have not started. Okay. 1, 5, 6, 7. Okay. It's nice to see the confidence. So when we finish solving these MCQs, you will also know how much you are prepared. Because जब हम सॉल्व नहीं करते हैं तो हमें एक आइडिया होता है कि हाँ मैं तो कॉन्फिडेंट हूँ, लेकिन जब हम सॉल्व करते हैं हमें पता लगता है कि अरे ये तो मुझे नहीं पता था, ये तो मुझे आता था, ये तो मुझे नहीं आता था. एंड सिमिलरली दोज हु आर सेइंग वन, राइट, when they start solving they'll realize कि ये question तो मुझे आता है, so their confidence will also go up. So the best way to evaluate your performance is to solve MCQs, and we have a poll here also in front of us, so let's take part in this. This will also tell you where you lie in terms of your peers, because ultimately it'll be like on a competition, healthy competition. So let's see where everybody lies. You just have to respond on this and the results will be out within a few seconds. So let's see. Okay, so mostly people are responding 1 to 3 or 4 to 7. Okay, so that's where the class lies. You also know where you are. Okay, so a few guidelines before we begin. So I'd like to tell you that this is our first class of MCQ solving series, and Manvi and I were making the questions manually. So we haven't taken this from any random online resource like ChatGPT or some AI tool. We actually sat down, we analyzed the papers, previous year questions, and then we made similar questions from highly repeated topics. All right. So please be assured that whatever questions you see, they are from highly repeated questions, highly repeated topics. Okay, thank you for clapping away, but this is for you only. Okay, so we'll also gauge how much participation and engagement and interaction and responses we get. And if you participate more, then we will continue to have more such sessions. So it'll be a motivation for us also. So please engage, please participate. And how can you respond? How can you answer those questions? Whenever a question is presented in front of you, I'll be reading it out. And you will get a few seconds to think. And once you have got the answer, you can write the option ABCD in the chat box. Then, if people are struggling in solving that, I'll also give you the explanation for the same topic. So you'll get hand in hand theory explanation also, practical application on MCQs also. And in each question, I will be asking some follow-up similar related questions also. And it be like a rapid fire kind of a thing. So whoever knows the answer to that can just raise their hand. And whoever raises their hand first, I will allow them to unmute themselves and answer. So these follow-up questions, just make a note of them in your diary because they are not there in the PPT. They're mostly from my memory, but they are extremely important. Okay, so let's begin. How excited is everybody to finally start? I've spoken a lot. Now it's time to solve the MCQs. How excited are we? Can we rate our excitement from 1 to 10? Super excited. Celebrations, confetti, party, celebration. I see all of that. 1,000. Super. 10, 10, 10. I'm very happy to see that myself. I am also excited after seeing your enthusiasm. Okay, so let's begin. So the first question is on your screen. A student keeps confusing the telephone number of her old landlord with her new one. Every time she tries to recall the new number, the old one automatically comes to mind. This is an example of dash. Now take some time, and whatever your answer is, you can write the option in the chat box. Okay? And then if there is a follow-up question, I will ask you and then you can raise your hand. So 11 people have already answered. So people are confused between A and B. And I was very sure that this is the kind of response that I will receive because C and D are options you can easily eliminate. But the confusion comes, is it proactive or is it retroactive interference? And let me tell you, this question is very highly repeated. In CUATPG, if you have not seen the previous year papers, they have this format of questions called statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is incorrect, both statements are correct, both statements are incorrect. So in that format, you will get to see these questions and you need to be just clear with this topic. So can we have a poll that how many are saying A and how many are saying B? Because this seems like a very mixed response. Let's see. where the majority lies, because still it's looking like 50-50 to me, but with the poll it will be clear to us. Think a little bit more, and I would like more participation. There are 70 of us here, but only 15-20 have responded. So even if you don't know, that is okay. Just try to respond. Maybe there is a chance that your answer can come correct. I cannot see the poll. Just give us 5-10 seconds. Manvi is making the poll. Manvi, are you making the poll? If yes, you can unmute yourself and just respond. But I'm sure she must be making it. Okay, if the poll is not coming, then I can give you the explanation here as well. Okay, so I will not straight away tell you what is the correct answer, but I would like to explain the topic to you. And once you have received the explanation, then I will once again ask you that now tell me what do you think is the answer. So I'm going to give you a very nice and helpful tip here. And if you understand this tip, then you will never forget this and never get confused again. And my professor had taught me this, so I would also like to teach you. So what do we do here? We start by writing all the things, all the variables that have been given to us. So in this question particularly, the variables that have been given to us is the old number and the new number. So the new number and the old number is given to us. So let's write it here. I'll try to zoom this and write it. So we have the old number and we have the new number. Let's just take this example that the old number is 123 and the new number is 456. Just a random number that we're taking. So tell me in the chat box, according to the question, this student is having trouble remembering the old number or the new number. कौन सा नंबर याद नहीं कर पा रहे हैं वो? Is it the old number that they are not able to recall or the new number? Yes, you all are right. वो न्यू नंबर नहीं रिकॉल कर पा रहे हैं. सो लेट्स कैंसिल आउट दिस न्यू नंबर क्योंकि इसको रिकॉल करने में मुश्किल हो रही है. बिकॉज ऑफ वॉट is it getting hard for the student to be able to recall the new number? स्टूडेंट न्यू नंबर नहीं रिकॉल कर पा रहे हैं किस चीज की वजह से? Because of the old number. Yes. So we will try to make an arrow like this, which will indicate to us that old number is interfering with the new number. इसलिए हम new number याद नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. So this arrow that I have created like this, what is the direction of the arrow? Is the direction in a forward direction or is the direction in a backward direction? Tell me, is it forward or is it backward? Yes, you all are saying it is forward. So whenever the word forward comes, forward means आगे. So we are talking about pro. And pro is, now tell me what do you think is the answer I've already explained to you? Yes, now you understand this is proactive interference because whenever the arrow is in a forward direction, forward means pro. So it will be proactive interference all the time. ठीक है? So this is a very important thing that you learned here today. So, but if it was the other way around, I'll try to erase this and I'll give you another follow-up question and then you tell me what do you think is the answer. So many times it happens with us also in our student life. What happens is that, in school, in class 7th or 8th, you must have studied about maths, percentage, ratio, proportion. But now in college, you studied psychology. So, because of studying psychology, maybe you forgot some previous concept that you had studied in school many years ago. So, then what would be the answer in this case? Yes, the answer would be retroactive interference. And let me try to write it also if I can. Or maybe let's take another example. Let's take sociology. We can write sociology. You may have studied sociology in school, and this is older one. And now you are studying psychology. This is new, right? What are you forgetting? You are forgetting the sociology school concepts. Why? Because psychology is interfering. This is the arrow in the backward direction. Whenever arrow is going in backward direction, that is the example of retro, because retro means backward. So now tell me from 1 to 10, how much have you understood this topic? Have you finally gotten clarity in the concept? Love the tip. Actually, my professor had taught, so I would like to thank her also. 50. Nice. I'm happy to see this. So finally you have understood this. That is great. Now on the next page, we have also added the explanation with this mnemonic. I have already explained this to you, so you can see it at your own convenience, but it's the same explanation that I gave. Okay, so if we can go to the next question, then do a thumbs up. And I'll present the next question in front of you. We have many more interesting questions coming up. Okay, let's go to the next question. A personality theorist asserts that individuals have the inherent capacity to make choices, transcend conditioning, and direct their own growth. This view directly challenges which philosophical assumption? So, whatever you think is the answer, you can write ABCD in the chat box. Again, kind of expected responses only. People are saying mostly B and D. थोड़ा और टाइम ले लो, सबसे आंसर सुनते हैं. Yes, I see the chat box. I see responses of some of my students. I just saw Khushi's response. Khushi is our core student. Khushi Rochani. Yes, I remember. Yes. So, before telling you what the correct answer is, I'd just like to offer a short description and explanation of what free will is and what is determinism. So, determinism is that kind of a philosophical assumption which talks about the fact that whatever our behavior is, it is always influenced by external factors. Our behavior is always influenced by either biological factors or environmental factors or social factors. सो इट मीन्स कि हमारे हाथ में नहीं है हमें क्या करना है, हमारा पूरा बिहेवियर इन्फ्लुएंस्ड होता है दूसरे बाहर के फैक्टर से. ठीक है, दैट इज डिटर्मिनिज्म. बट फ्री विल ऑन द अदर हैंड सेज कि नहीं, हम हमेशा इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं होते बाहर की चीजों से. हमारे पास चॉइस होती है, हमारे पास ऑटोनॉमी होती है अपने खुद की ग्रोथ पे काम करने के लिए. हमें जो करना है हम वो खुद के डिसीजंस बना सकते हैं, तो उसको फ्री विल बोलते हैं. नाउ इफ यू हैव अंडरस्टूड द डिफरेंस बिटवीन फ्री विल एंड डिटर्मिनिज्म, टेल मी द नेम ऑफ few theories that have been created on the principle of free will. And someone has already written the answer in the chat box. Existential, humanistic, Carl Rogers, humanistic, existential. Yes, correct. So these theories are based on free will. Now tell me that determinism पे कौन सी theories based है? Any theory that's coming to mind? Yes, Freud. So psychoanalytic theory, behaviorism also, all of these are based on determinism. So now ये क्वेश्चन क्या बोल रहा है कि दिस व्यू challenges. So that means the answer would be determinism. Yes. And just जिसने D बोला था, you all are correct. ठीक है. Now, as you are solving questions, if you are getting it right, then keep giving yourself plus one marks. Okay. And at the end, you will calculate how much score you got. And depending on that, we will also tell you ki what percentile you are lying in. Okay, and if you're getting it wrong, then don't just give yourself zero over there. Also, write the name of the topic that you're getting wrong so that after the class you can go and revise that topic. So, another follow up question for you. Look at these two photos presented in front of you and tell me that which photo is talking about determinism. Is it one or two? Is one photo talking about determinism or second? Okay, would anyone like to explain why they say one? If you want to explain, you can just raise your hand and you can speak your explanation. Yes, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Please help me. Adrisa.
Yes, ma'am, it's Adrisha actually.
Actually. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we just discussed, determinism is basically the concept that whatever is around us will determine exactly what is going to happen to us in the future. That is, we do not have any free will. And as in the first picture, it is shown that the person who is in the past and the person who is in the future is exactly the same. So that is basically what determinism is. Whereas in the second picture, we see that even though the past there is like one particular person, in the future there are like more possibilities. So that definitely talks about free will.
Hmm. Yes, yes. Thank you for responding. And a quick rating from 1 to 10, how much have you all understood the difference between free will and determinism? This will help us to proceed forward. Okay, 10, 10, 10. Very nice. I'm happy to see that. Those who are saying 8 or 9, it's fine for now, but after the session, just revise it and it'll strengthen the concept for you. So let's go to the next question. So this is a match the following question and इससे भी बड़े सारे questions आते हैं especially CUET PG में match the following जिसमें वो आपको types of memories and their explanation को match करने को बोलेंगे ठीक है तो पहले तो can you tell me यू कैन रेज योर हैंड एंड आंसर दिस पहले टेल मी कि ये जो टाइप्स ऑफ मेमोरीज दी हुई है ये कौन सी थ्योरी में बताई जाती है विच थ्योरी और विच मॉडल ऑफ मेमोरी टॉक्स अबाउट द टाइप्स ऑफ डैश मेमोरी देर आर थ्री ना सेंसरी शॉर्ट टर्म लॉन्ग टर्म तो ये वाले कौन से टाइप ऑफ मेमोरी है let me complete the question first. So there are different types of memories. We know that sensory, short term, long term. So this particular model, this particular theory is expanding upon which type of memory. First, listen to the question. Don't start answering like that only, or you will get it wrong. Yes. So, Saloni, Amrita, Mishita, yes, you are right. It is long-term memory only. Now, who has given types of long-term memory model? The name of the person. You can also just unmute yourself and say the answer out loud if you know that. Yes, Tulving is the correct answer. Yes. So Tulving said that long-term memory can be of different types, and then he only expanded upon that. So this question has been based on that. Okay. Now, a few seconds for you to solve this question and write the answer ABCD in the chat box. And a few people have already started answering. I want to hear from more. And इसमें सब लोग एक ही आंसर कर रहे हैं इसमें अलग अलग आंसर्स नहीं आ रहे हैं people are saying C mostly. So let's see if C is only the answer. So episodic memory is the memory which talks about the experiences, the events that we have. Semantic memory talks about the facts, the meanings, and the knowledge that we have, like what is the capital of India and what is the national anthem of India, national fruit of India, what is your phone number, all of that. Procedural is about how to do something, how to ride a bicycle or how to play the piano or the keyboard. And this is priming. So A is being matched with 2, B is being matched with 1, C is being matched with 3. Yeah, so all of you are correct. This is the correct answer. What about Atkinson and Shiffrin model? That is the information processing model that is different. This is not the same model as that. Atkinson and Shiffrin model is just based on the way how a computer works. It talks about how memory passes from the sensory to short term to long term memory. Okay, fine. So वो वाला model है. And we have attached the diagram flowchart for you here. You can see it for your um, personal, this thing also. Okay. So this is a very interesting question, the fourth question that we have. So this is based on Maslow's theory. So, a talented musician often feels unrecognized for his art and longs for respect and appreciation in the music industry. According to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which of the following needs remains unfulfilled? And the way how we have created this question कि Maslow की needs को अगर आप एक pyramid format में देखोगे तो need one is the most bottom level need and वहां से ऊपर जाते जाते 2 3 4 5. So what's the question of this? So people are saying 3. C basically. C. Third option, C. Need 4. Can someone tell me what is the name of the need 4? Wow. I'm impressed because
Physiological need.
तो हमें बनाते हुए लग रहा था कि ये क्वेश्चन किसी को नहीं आएगा बट आपको आ गए दैट इज अ ग्रेट थिंग. हमारे पास और मुश्किल क्वेश्चंस भी है ठीक है सो लेट्स वेट फॉर सम चैलेंज यू आर राइट. एस्टीम नीड्स need 4. So Maslow made it important to remember the order also because sometimes we mix up on the needs. So it is important to remember basic physiological needs, safety and security, love and belongingness, esteem needs, self-actualization, all of that. But do you know that later Maslow added some more needs? Does anyone know what are the new needs? Like, can you just give an example of all the new needs that you know? Transcendence, yeah, that was added later. Transcendence is even above self-actualization. Yes, cognitive, aesthetic, transcendence. Aditya, you're right. Uh, and the order also in which you are saying cognitive, then aesthetic, right? So the order is also correct. Okay. So now tell me that is the esteem need a type of a deficiency need or a type of a growth need? Maslow also divided his needs into deficiency needs and growth needs. So, is esteem need a type of growth need or a deficiency need? And all of you are answering with so much confidence, but I'm sorry, you are wrong here because esteem need is a type of a deficiency need. ठीक है. हमें बहुत कॉन्फिडेंस होता है कि ये तो ग्रोथ नीड ही है ये तो सुनने में वही लग रहा है बट this is a correction here. So esteem needs is a type of a deficiency need and we have added this flowchart of the pyramid also so that it clearly classifies कि कौन सी need क्या है. So all of these needs that you see here, these deficiency needs, why are they called deficiency needs? क्योंकि whenever there is a deficit of this, we strive to fulfill that, we strive to increase that a little bit more. बट ग्रोथ नीड्स का क्या है कि ठीक है ये है पर हम उस पॉइंट पे पहुंचते हैं कि हमें और चाहिए ये क्योंकि हमें खुद अच्छा लगता है उसको और इंक्रीज करके. So that's why the ones on top come under the category of growth needs. So a correction because most of you got this wrong. Esteem needs always comes under deficiency needs. A follow-up question for you, and you can just unmute and answer if you know the answer. After Maslow, there was one more person who reorganized Maslow's needs and divided that into 3 different categories. ERG theory जिसकी कहते हैं जिसको, who has given ERG theory? No, it is not McClelland. McClelland has given different. It is not Adler also. Alfred Adler की बात कर रहे हो आप. Alfred Adler तो psychodynamic theory से related है. Rogers नहीं. Rogers never talked about needs of motivation. Gia is right. Alderfer. Clayton Alderfer. Yes, Krupa is also right. Clayton Alderfer. ERG. What is the full form of ERG? Does anyone know that? If anyone knows, they can just raise their hand. Otherwise, you can write it in the chat box also. Full form of ERG, existence, ratedness, growth. Yes, very good. So see all these new things that you're getting to know, just keep a note of that somewhere, okay? So let's go to the next question. देखते हैं कि ये किसको आता है कि नहीं. This is from the motivation chapter. If the dash is damaged, the organism is likely to show loss of hunger and reduced food intake, whereas if the dash is damaged, it is likely to show excessive eating and obesity. So, what do you think is the answer? We already know that hypothalamus is responsible for regulating hunger, but which particular part of hypothalamus? So mostly people are saying A, इधर A और B. यहाँ पे भी A और B के बीच में कंफ्यूजन है. वही तो कंफ्यूजन है क्योंकि हमें तो पता है कि एंटीरियर पोस्टीरियर तो नहीं हो सकता, उसको काट दो, एलिमिनेट कर दो, बट ए है या बी है वही डाउट रहता है. So I'll clear this concept out for you, and then on the basis of that, you can answer that. So the lateral hypothalamus, I'll write it here. Lateral hypothalamus is responsible for initiating hunger, and the ventromedial hypothalamus is responsible for sati- satiation. So now, if you know this, what is the answer? अब इसके बेसिस पे आप बता सकते हो आंसर क्या है. Yes, and now everyone has started to say A only, so A is the correct answer. And there's a very interesting experiment behind this. They had taken rats and they had damaged the lateral and the ventromedial hypothalamus of the rats, and on the basis of that they saw कि जिन rats का lateral hypothalamus damage कर दिया था, तो उनको तो पता ही नहीं लगेगा ना कि they are feeling hungry, so they didn't eat anything and they reached a point of starvation. But the other rats whose ventromedial hypothalamus had been damaged, they did not know that now they have reached a point of fullness. So they kept on eating and they became obese. So this is an experiment. So you can remember it that way. And as always, we have an explanation on the next slide. Any trick to remember which hypothalamus is for which? I had given a tip to my course students. Let me remember what it was. So, ventromedial, VMH. Yeah, so that's what I gave them. VMH, uh, very hungry. So, Manvi has also written something less hungry, very hungry. I cannot recall the tip at the moment, but I'll check the WhatsApp group. I had sent it there. उस टाइम पे निमोनी बनाया था. मैं आपको भी ग्रुप में भेज दूंगी, so you can, follow it from there. Okay. Yes, this PPT will be shared. Okay. Two friends were, there is a trick to remember with very much hunger and yes, little hunger. So thanks for sharing that. आप भी ये टिप फॉलो कर सकते हो rest of the students. चलो next question पे चलते हैं. Two friends were walking in a park when suddenly a dog came near them. One of them felt happy and started petting the dog, whereas the other felt scared and ran away. Which theory of emotion best explains this difference? And it is like 95% गारंटी से आई कैन से कि एवरी ईयर सीबीटी पीजी में थ्योरीज ऑफ इमोशंस पे क्वेश्चन आता ही आता है. चाहे आपको मैच द फॉलोइंग थ्योरीज ऑफ इमोशंस दे या एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड दे या आपको वो पूछे कि कौन सी थ्योरी में कौन सा ऑर्डर कैसे फॉलो होता है, बट थ्योरीज ऑफ इमोशन से तो रहता ही है क्वेश्चन. और सब लोग डी बोल रहे हैं. One person has said C, but I want to hear from more of you so that I know what your level of understanding is. So mostly people are saying D, and D is only the correct answer. D is the correct answer. Why? Because see, both friends are seeing the same dog, but their emotions are quite different. One of them is feeling happy, the other one is feeling fear. So, if emotion is different, then definitely there is something happening before the emotion, which is deciding what kind of emotion you will feel and what is the deciding factor. What is the factor which is determining? It is the way how you think about the situation, it is the way how you appraise the situation. And thinking and appraisal is something that is keyword from the cognitive theories, right? So, if you look at a dog and your first thought is that dogs are very sweet creatures, they are very cute and lovely, then definitely the guiding emotion would be happiness. But if you have this thought only that dogs are dangerous and they will bite and harm you, then the fear emotion would follow. So that's exactly what the cognitive appraisal theory says. So you are right that D is the correct answer. Okay, so we have an explanation also here. And in all the theories, it's quite important to remember the order of the questions, or order of the elements that is happening in each theory of emotion. So tell me that in which theory of emotion does the फिजियोलॉजिकल अराउजल हैपन द फर्स्ट। ऐसी एक थ्योरी है इमोशन की जिसमें ये बोलते हैं कि सबसे पहले फिजियोलॉजिकल रिएक्शन आने लगता है। यस, इट इज जेम्स लैंड्स थ्योरी। ऐसी कौन सी थ्योरी है इमोशन की जिसके अंदर दो प्रोसेस साइमल्टेनियस लेवल पे होते हैं? सो द साइमल्टेनियस इज द कीवर्ड हियर। सो एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ इमोशन एंड योर फिजियोलॉजिकल अराउजल दोनों साथ में होता है। यस, दैट इज द कैनन बार्ट थ्योरी। Do you know which part of the brain is responsible for this simultaneous process in Cannon-Bart's theory? Yes, it is thalamus. That is the correct answer, and I'm very happy and very proud. So, a quick check with the difficulty level of this. Are you finding the questions very simple कि ये तो बहुत बोरिंग है, मेरे को मजा नहीं आ रहा, ये तो आता ही है, इसमें कुछ मजा नहीं है, और other questions like थोड़ा सोचना पड़ रहा है? It's interesting. I have to use my brain a little bit. I have to bring in my previous knowledge. Interesting. Okay. In terms of level of difficulty, if 1 is the easiest and 10 is the most difficult, what do you think the level of difficulty is? Okay, 5, 6, 7. हाँ, तो पोल भी आ गई है। आपको लेवल ऑफ डिफिकल्टी बतानी है, तो मोस्टली पीपल आर सेइंग 4 to 7 ओनली। दैट्स लाइक अ मॉडरेट लेवल ऑफ चैलेंज, विच इज ग्रेट बिकॉज यू नो मजा भी आ रहा है, सोचना भी पड़ रहा है, बट एट द सेम टाइम इट्स नॉट टू डिफिकल्ट कि हम डर के भाग जाएं। ठीक है, सो लेट्स गो टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नाउ। Which temporal arrangement between the conditioned stimulus and the unconditioned stimulus produces the strongest conditioning and which produces the weakest conditioning? So you can write your answer in the chat box. Basically, question यही पूछ रहा है कि what's the best type of method for conditioning and what's the worst? So some mixed answers here. B, C, B. People are saying B. Some are saying C. अच्छा, पहले मुझे ये बता दो कि अकॉर्डिंग टू यू विच वन वुड बी द वर्स्ट टाइप ऑफ कंडीशनिंग, कि ये तो इतनी खराब है कि करो ही मत इसको। That it's the worst one. Yes, you are right. Backward conditioning is the worst type of conditioning. In backward conditioning, what will you present first? Will you present the bell or the food? In backward conditioning, you will present the food. And that is of no use literally because it's always the conditioned stimulus that should come first. Why should the conditioned stimulus come first? Because the presentation of conditioned stimulus indicates to you that the food is going to be presented soon. So this creates some kind of cognitive expectancy, and that's the whole principle on which this experiment has been created. Cognitive expectancy. Yes, to produce a response. Does anybody know what formal term has been given to the meaning cognitive expectancy? If you see Cicerelli, there is this entire portion which talks about cognitive expectancy, a cognitive prediction or a mental, expectation कि ये आ गया तो ये भी आने वाला है. What is the name of that? So if anybody doesn't know that, that means it's the need to study. No, no, it's not association. It is contingency. It is contingency. Does anyone know who has given this word contingency, who has worked on that? All of this is there in Cicerelli. And जो भी Cicerelli में है वो तो important है entrances के लिए. So no idea, no problem. You can refer to Cicerelli. Basically, I'll explain this concept. Robert Rescorla, no, expectancy theory is different. So Robert Rescorla had talked about contingency, which means that the conditioned stimulus should be able to predict the onset of the food. Which means अगर आप बेल प्रेजेंट करोगे तो बेल सुन के डॉग को पता होना चाहिए कि मुझे खाना मिलने वाला है, तभी तो कंडीशनिंग फॉर्म होगी। तो ये एक्सपेक्टेशन, ये प्रिडिक्शन, ये कॉग्निटिव एक्सपेक्टेंसी को हम कंटिजेंसी कहते हैं, एंड रॉबर्ट रिस्कॉर्ला टॉक्ड अबाउट दिस. So you all are right in saying that backward conditioning is the worst kind of conditioning. So we can easily eliminate option A and option D. So it will be somewhere between this and this. So now tell me, now it's very easy to answer. You can very easily eliminate. Now tell me, what do you think is the answer? Is simultaneous conditioning better or is delayed conditioning better? Simultaneous में क्या होगा कि you are presenting the bell, ting 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 ting, and you're getting the food also. So ting 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 ting, food. But delayed conditioning is different. In delayed conditioning, it's like the bell is being played, ting 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 ting, and then food comes little bit after that, but bell still keeps on playing for some time. Yes, so now you are able to answer it correct. Ting, ting, ting. I also love it. I love teaching like this. So I wish I had a real bill, but I don't have it right now. So C is the correct answer. And we also have a flowchart on the next slide, which will make you understand it in the best way. So as you can see, that in simultaneous conditioning, the bell and the food are presented at the same time. So imagine bell is there in this hand and food is there in this hand. So they are presented simultaneously. So ting 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 and food is done simultaneously. But in delayed conditioning, which is the best one, bell is played first, ting 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 ting. And after some time, after 5 seconds ideally, then the food is given. And there is very small period in which there is overlap between the presentation of bell and presentation of food. And this overlap is the one that makes delayed conditioning the best, right? Because it just creates the cognitive expectancy. The expectation कि bell बचेगी तो खाना आएगा. So that's why we say that delayed conditioning is the best. Okay. So from 1 to 10, how much have you understood this? I got confused with continuous conditioning. वो क्या होता है? Continuous conditioning, where you seeing that term from? Why not trace conditioning? Because in trace conditioning, there is some gap between the bell and the food. So, because of the gap, the dog is not able to, create that strong of a cognitive expectancy because the main point is only, the main reason only is the cognitive expectancy. ओके सो गैप जब आ जाता है तो डॉग रिलेट और एसोसिएट नहीं कर पाता बेल को और फूड को ऐसा नहीं कि ट्रेस कंडीशनिंग बेकार कंडीशनिंग है एकदम ठीक है इट सॉर्ट ऑफ does produce some conditioning but a little weaker than delayed conditioning because delayed में the cognitive expectancy is a little stronger and higher. That's why delayed is the best, then trace conditioning, then simultaneous conditioning, and then backward conditioning. So it's, if you look at it in terms of order, so this is the best, then followed by this, then followed by this, and this is the worst one. ये तो करो ही मत. ठीक है. Okay, so whose question was this? So Shibana, Shibina, sorry. So have you understood this now? No, no, not Shibina. MPS. Yes, have you understood? Okay, Shivangi. Yes, glad that you have understood. The difference between trace and delayed is that delayed provides the food immediately after the bell rings, and trace has a short gap after the bell. So I'll tell you what is the main difference between delayed and trace. As you can see in the photo also, first of all, in delayed, there is some overlap between the presentation of bell and presentation of food, but in trace, there is no overlap. ठीक है? So one is the difference in the overlap. Delayed में overlap है दोनों के बीच में. You can see, I'll try to highlight it. इतने से पोर्शन में ओवरलैप हो रहा है बट ट्रेस में कोई ओवरलैप नहीं है तो हमें चाहिए कि ओवरलैप हो तभी तो स्ट्रॉन्गर एसोसिएशन बिल्ड होगी सो दैट इज द मेन डिफरेंस हियर ओके एंड टाइम गैप का डिफरेंस भी आप बोल सकते हो कि डीले में टाइम गैप नहीं होता पर ट्रेस में टाइम गैप होता है ये दोनों मेन डिफरेंस होते हैं अगर ये समझ आ गया तो नहीं भूलोगे आप इसको ठीक है लेट्स गो टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन एंड आई होप दैट यू ऑल आर गिविंग योरसेल्फ मार्क्स आल्सो सो दिस इज अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम स्टैट्स एंड आई नो कि नंबर्स देख के सबको डर लगता है बट आई होप कि विद टुडेज एक्सप्लेनेशन आपको समझ आ जाए आपका फियर खत्म हो जाए सो अंजलि स्कोर्ड 145 on an IQ test with a mean of 100 and a standard deviation of 15. What is her Z score? अब इसमें आपको सारी वैल्यूज दी हुई है एवरीथिंग इज गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन you don't even need the formula to be able to answer this. if you just try to use some conceptual knowledge, even if you don't know the formula, that's okay. थोड़ा सा concept लगाओगे, थोड़ा सा सोचोगे, then you will be able to solve it. So people have already started to say A. मैं आपको उस फॉर्मूला के साथ भी सॉल्व करके दिखाऊंगी, बिना फॉर्मूला के साथ भी सॉल्व करके दिखाऊंगी, ठीक है? एंड फॉर्मूला हमें बस ऐसी एग्जाम पर्पसेस के लिए रखना चाहिए. इट्स बेटर टू ऑलवेज हैव द कंसेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग. सो लेट मी फर्स्ट एक्सप्लेन जस्ट विद द concept only. So let's try to make a graph here. So this person has already told you कि मीन 100 है, ठीक है? मीन हमारा यहाँ पे आता है, हमें पता है. तो let's write 100 here because mean is always here at the center. और उसने हमें ये भी बताया कि स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन 15 है. एंड what is the range of z? Can someone tell me what is the range of z in any distribution? एक रेंज होती है ना z स्कोर्स की, तो क्या होती है वो रेंज? No, it's not infinity. Shivangi is right. It is plus minus 3. Basically, it's minus 3 to plus 3. Yes, so it's minus 3 to plus 3. So let's try to label all of that here. Okay, so they have already told you that standard deviation is 15. So tell me that अगर वो ये बोलते कि उनका जी स्कोर +1 है, तो बच्चे का क्या स्कोर होता? मुझे बताओ. अगर वो कह रहे हैं कि जी आपका +1 आया है, तो बच्चे का क्या स्कोर आएगा आईक्यू टेस्ट पे? यस, 115 करेक्ट, बिकॉज स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन हमारा 15 है ना, उसने बोला, और हमारा मीन यहाँ पे 100 है. मीन इज 100 एंड स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन इज 15. अब मुझे बताओ, वो कह रहे हैं कि आपका -1 में आया है. -1 अगर आपका जी स्कोर होगा, तो फिर क्या होगा आपका आईक्यू टेस्ट पे स्कोर? Yes, it will be 85 because you will subtract 15 from here. Now let's come back to the question. The question is saying कि उसका स्कोर 145 आया है. तो अब आप मेरे को बिना देखे बता सकते, बिना फॉर्मूला लगाए आप बता सकते हो कि क्या है आंसर ABCD. Yes, yes, it is A, right? Because here the score would be 130 and here the score would be 145. So you can see it is 3 only. नाउ फॉर दोज हु से कि हमें एक बार फॉर्मूला से भी सॉल्व करके दिखा दो, सो लेट्स डू दैट ऑल्सो. सो द फॉर्मूला ऑफ z इज समथिंग लाइक दिस. सो x स्टैंड्स फॉर योर स्कोर, म्यू स्टैंड्स फॉर योर मीन, एंड नीचे एस डी आता है. एस डी इज 15. सो 45/15 इज +3. सो फॉर्मूला से भी सॉल्व करके आपका सेम आ गया, एंड ग्राफ पे भी हैव ऑलरेडी सॉल्व्ड इट. So if just tell me your understanding of this question from 1 to 10. And I hope that you have understood this. ये बहुत easy है. I know stats देख के हमें डर लगता है, but ये सच में बहुत easy है ये. Most of you are saying 10. I'm happy to see that. Love the graph understanding. Exactly, हमें stats को कभी ऐसे numerical से, formula से, we shouldn't rote learn it. The more we understand the concept, the better we will be able to solve. See how simple it was. It's just कि आप कैसे समझते हो उस चीज को. यहाँ पे explanation दी हुई है. You can see it at your own convenience. Now another question we have from stats once again. And even if you don't know the meaning of skewness, you can still solve it just by little bit conceptual understanding. जैसे सेम ड्रॉ करके देखो अपने नोटबुक में. So what is the answer? A, B, C, D. So the answers have already started to come in, and most of the people are saying C. Yes, C is the correct answer. I'm so happy you all are answering it correctly. So एक बार ना I'll try to draw two graphs और आपको बताने कि इसमें पॉजिटिवली स्क्यूड कौन सा है, नेगेटिवली स्क्यूड कौन सा है. So tell me that which one is positively skewed? वन इज नेगेटिव, टू इज पॉजिटिव, सब उल्टा सीधा बोल रहे हैं, ठीक है। तो इसकी भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टिप मैं आपको देने वाली हूँ, प्लीज। दिस टिप हेल्प्स मी टिल टुडे। नो मैटर what confusion, I always go back to this tip and it always helps me. And again, my teacher at Christ told me this tip, so I'm also gonna tell you. ठीक है, so please listen with your ears opened. So the direction of the tail, which is touching the ground, you can say in simple words, that tells us the direction of the skewness. ठीक है? So if you look at the first graph, in this, tell me कि जो हमारा टेल है ग्राफ का, जो ग्राउंड को टच कर रहा है, इज इट टचिंग द ग्राउंड ऑन द राइट साइड और ऑन द लेफ्ट साइड? यस। तो हमें हमेशा वो वाला साइड देखना होता है टेल का जो ग्राउंड को टच कर रहा होता है। ग्राउंड को टच कर रहा है, ये आपका कीवर्ड है, इसी को देखना है हमेशा, ठीक है। जो ग्राउंड को टच कर रहा है वो हमें स्क्यूनेस की डायरेक्शन बताता है। तो ये राइट में है ना, ये राइट लिख देती हूँ यहाँ पे, एंड यहाँ पे मैं लेफ्ट लिख देती हूँ, ठीक है। नाउ टेल मी दैट द पॉजिटिव साइड ऑफ द स्कोर्स lie towards the right side or the left side? Yes. So now tell me that हम राइट स्क्यू को पॉजिटिव स्क्यू बोलेंगे कि नेगेटिव स्क्यू बोलेंगे? Yes, right skew would be called positive skew always. So, as you had already answered this question correctly, the answer is C, positively skewed. And if you have understood the way how the graph is drawn, and if you've understood the key, the hint also, then you will never get this wrong. ठीक है? Similarly, if you apply the same concept to the second graph also, so in the second graph, this is the right side and this is the left side. So, second graph, हमारी जो टेल है वो लेफ्ट साइड पे जा रही है और यहाँ पे नेगेटिव स्कोर्स होते हैं, तो ये हमारा नेगेटिव स्क्यू हो गया। एंड लेफ्ट स्क्यू, नेगेटिव स्क्यू इज ऑलवेज लेफ्ट स्क्यू एंड पॉजिटिव स्क्यू इज ऑलवेज राइट स्क्यू, सो यू विल नेवर फॉरगेट दिस। ओके, नाउ अनदर follow up question for you, that tell me that this time the teacher was very lazy in making the test, so she put very easy questions and the whole class stopped. Everyone got very good marks. So in that situation, will it be a right skew or a left skew? Very easy paper, everyone getting very good marks. Right skew or left skew? And the answer is in front of you also. You can see from the graph and refer. Most of you are saying लेफ्ट स्क्यू एंड यू आर राइट, लेफ्ट स्क्यू इज द आंसर, क्योंकि सबने टॉप मारे तो सबके आंसर्स यहाँ पे आएंगे ना, सबके मार्क्स यहाँ पे आएंगे, सबके 80 90 100, 80 90 100, 80 90 100 आए, तो सबका स्कोर यहाँ पे आएगा, है ना। एंड ऐसा दिखेगा हमारा ग्राफ, और हमें पता है ये सेकंड वाला हमारा लेफ्ट स्क्यू है, नेगेटिव स्क्यू है, सो आपको ये समझ आ गया है। On the next page, I have some explanation also, and I have explained this already, so you can see that at your convenience. Next question is on NPC. You have to tick mark which of the following statements correctly describe the characteristics of NPC. This is also very highly repeated topic. So it is symmetrical, mean, median, mode are equal and at center. It is symptotic. Total area is 1. What is the answer of this? Which one is correct? Which one is incorrect? So here also mixed answers are coming. So let's try to solve it one by one. So I'm gonna go statement by statement, and then you have to tell me whether this statement is right or wrong. Tell me statement one. Is statement one right or wrong. मतलब you can write T or F, true, false. Symmetrical होता है ना, we know NPC looks like this, so this is symmetrical only, so this is true. So this is one of the correct statements. Let's go to the second one. Mean, median, mode are equal and located at the center. Is this true or false? हमारा मीन मीडियन मोड कोइंसाइड करता है. मीन मीडियन मोड आपको तीनों यहाँ पे मिलेंगे, so this statement is also true. The normal probability curve is symptotic to the x-axis. Is that true or false? Very few people are answering this. यहीं पे confusion हो रही है, मुझे पता है. Confusion. See, I knew that. And we have deliberately created this confusion here. Basically, you have to tell me that do the tails of NPC touch the x-axis or not? Yes or no? Do the tails of NPC touch x-axis? No, they don't touch the x-axis. The feature of NPC not touching the x-axis is known as asymptotic. But ये क्वेश्चन तो symptotic बोल रहा है. तो अब बताओ, 3 statement will be true or false? Yes, now it will be false. And what about the fourth one? The total area under curve is equal to 1. हाँ, ये तो true है ही. So if statement 1, 2 and 4 are correct only, then of course option is A. A is the answer. No, yes. What does symptotic mean? We just added that term to confuse you. It doesn't mean anything. Basically, the term is asymptotic, which means that tails don't touch the x-axis. We deliberately created that confusion here. Okay, so let's go to the next question, and the next slide has all the features of NPC. You can see it. See, mean median mode is equal and it's at the center. It is symmetrical. The total area is 1. We have discussed all of that. बाकी आप देख सकते हो. Next question. The DSM primarily follows a dash approach to the classification of mental disorders versus ICD increasingly incorporates a dash approach. Okay. So some confusion here. Let me ask you a question and clear this out. So if you have ever seen the way how a diagnosis is done with the help of ICD, उसमें कैसे लिखा हुआ आता है? माइल्ड डिप्रेशन और मॉडरेट है अगर आपको कुछ, या सिवियर है ऐसे कुछ. तो जब आप किसी चीज को माइल्ड, मॉडरेट और सिवियर में क्लासिफाई करते हो, सो इज दैट a dimensional approach or a descriptive approach or a categorical approach or analytical approach or phenomenological approach? When you classify it into categories, mild, moderate, severe, that is dimensional. So do you get DSM diagnosis like this or ICD diagnosis like this? Which one of these says mild, moderate, severe? Is it DSM or is it ICD? Yes, it is ICD which says mild, moderate, severe, right? So that means ICD has to follow your dimensional approach, right? DSM does not follow a dimensional approach. DSM just says कि या तो आपको disorder है या आपको नहीं है. It doesn't really give you dimensions like these. It rather divides you into categories. This person has MDD, this person has PDD, this person has GAD, this person has VPD. It does not give you into dimensions. It is just कि या तो है या नहीं है. So that is more of a categorical approach. Now, with this understanding, we're able to answer this. So let me ask some follow-up questions. What's the current version of DSM we are following? 5TR. Which body has made the DSM? And I know everyone will say APA, but is it Psychological Association or is it Psychiatric Association? The one that has made DSM. Yes, it is Psychiatric Association. It is psychiatric, not psychological. It is psychiatric. Okay. So ICD किसने बनाया है? Yes, it is WHO. Yes, okay. Now as we know that ICD doesn't just have mental disorders, but it has other physical diseases also. So in which chapter of ICD mental disorders have been mentioned? 4, 5, 6 सारे बोल देते हैं, कुछ तो सही होगा। बताओ कौन सा वाला है। सो दिस इज योर होमवर्क। 4, 5, 6 सब बोल रहे, दिस इज योर होमवर्क, यू हैव टू रिसर्च अपॉन दिस एज समवन सेड कि आई हैड नो आइडिया अबाउट दिस, सो दिस इज योर होमवर्क. You have to check and find out and tell me in the next class that in which chapter of ICD do you find information about mental disorders, okay? Rest of the disorders are for other things. Is there any easy way to remember the codes? You don't have to remember the codes for your entrance test of the master's level. It's something that is done in your MPhil and all. You don't need to do it. Okay, next question is very simple. One of the main features of GAD is, yes, ये तो बहुत सिंपल है, सबने करेक्टली आंसर कर दिया है. Now let's try and identify the other disorders also. Intense fear triggered by specific object or situation. ये कौन से टाइप का एंजाइटी डिसऑर्डर है? Yes, it is phobia. Yes, simple phobia, specific phobia. Yes. Okay. And also types of phobias they ask in entrance exams. Acrophobia किस चीज का फोबिया होता है, किसी को पता है? स्पाइडर नहीं, इट इज हाइट्स. इट इज हाइट्स. यस. वाटर का तो हाइड्रोफोबिया होगा. यस. ओके. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. एंजाइटी लिमिटेड टू सोशल और परफॉर्मेंस सिचुएशंस आपको कौन से डिसऑर्डर में देखने को मिलेगी? सोशल एंजाइटी डिसऑर्डर. यस. ओके, करेक्ट आंसर. डू यू नो दैट विच न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर इज एसोसिएटेड विद एंजाइटी डिसऑर्डर्स? इस न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर के डेफिसिट की वजह से एंजाइटी डिसऑर्डर. यस. अभी गाबा क्या लिख रहे हो, उसका फुल फॉर्म बताओ ना, वो मुश्किल क्वेश्चन है. किसी को गाबा का फुल फॉर्म पता है? इट्स वेरी लॉन्ग, यू कैन टेक योर टाइम टू टाइप इट. गामा अमीनो ब्यूटरिक एसिड. यस, करेक्ट, वेरी गुड. Okay, let's go to the next question. So, if GABA is less in anxiety disorders, then you would like to give a class of drugs to stabilize the level of GABA. What is the name of that category of drugs? Benzodiazepine is the correct answer. Yes. Okay, let's go to the next question. From Lifespan Erickson's theory, an individual feels torn between forming a long-term committed relationship and remaining independent out of fear losing personal freedom. According to Erickson's psychosocial theory, this conflict represents the stage of intimacy versus isolation. This is easy, this is simple. Now, an interesting question for you. How many stages has Erickson given? You have to number the stages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Kitni stages? 8 stages. Now, intimacy versus isolation would be at which number? People are saying 5 or 6. So we start with basic trust versus mistrust, then we go to autonomy versus shame and self-doubt, then we go to initiative versus guilt, industry versus inferiority, identity versus role confusion, then intimacy versus isolation. So that's the 6th stage for you. It's not 5th, it's the 6th stage. And they can also jumble Erickson stages and ask you to arrange it in the correct order. So you need to know the correct ordering and numbering like this. See here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Intimacy versus isolation is at the 6th stage. Okay, next question. If a test produces consistency of scores over multiple administrations, it is said to have dash. And if it does not measure what it claims to measure, it is said to have dash. Yes, this is also pretty simple. So C is the correct answer. High reliability, because consistency of scores always talking about reliability, that if you scored 100 at an IQ test, then next month also you should score somewhere around that only, the month after that also that only. Which type of reliability is this, by the way? If at multiple administrations, after 2 months, after 4 months, 6 months, you're getting the same score, it is test retest reliability. Yes, correct. And if it doesn't measure what it claims to measure, it is low validity. Yes. So correct answer. Let's go to the next question. So the next question is actually the last question. Which neurotransmitter is most strongly associated with reward and addiction pathway? This is also very simple. Yes, dopamine. Now tell me that which disorder will you see if the dopamine is in a lot of excess? इस पे भी क्वेश्चन आते हैं impaired synthesis of neurotransmitters पे, अगर बहुत ज्यादा हो जाएगा तो साइकोसिस देखने को मिलेगा, स्किज़ोफ्रेनिया देखने को मिलेगा. अगर कम हो जाएगा, if schizophrenia is in a lot of deficit, then what will you get to see? Yes, you will get to see Parkinson. Yes. So impaired synthesis also is important, and you can see here, uh, if excess dopamine activity, then schizophrenia. If reduced activity, then Parkinson's. And if dysregulated, then addiction and substance use disorders. Okay. So, how was this MCQ practice like for you? I'm opening this floor for some questions, but tell me ki, um, how was this thing for you? The, what do you call it? I'm forgetting the word. Just rate. And also, you can rate your scores if you are comfortable. I mean, this is not a judgmental space. I am not gonna judge anybody. Okay. So can we go to the next slide, Manvi? Yes. So if you would like more of such practices, as I said that we have 3 more sessions planned for the upcoming month. But if you engage more, you participate more, if it is really helpful for you, then maybe we will increase the number of sessions also. So we'll have this every Sunday. We'll let you know the timings. But अगर आप ज़्यादा participation करोगे, हम session numbers भी increase कर देंगे. As I said in the starting of the session, that we have Master's Entrance Preparation course going on right now. If you want, you can enroll in that. And we have a discount also just for the end of this month of October. वैसे it's of 12,000, but if you register within the next 1 to 3 days, then you can get it at 8,000. And what all is included in that? Live sessions completing the whole chapter, the whole syllabus, in which I have taught everything. I've given mnemonics, tips and tricks, guidance, highly repeated questions, how to study, what not to study, tricks to remember. We have PPTs also, which Manvi and I have personally created during our preparation days from standard textbooks. We have a lot of mock tests also. I believe we have 35 mock tests in total, on a computer-based portal. And we keep on practicing MCQs in every class. जैसे हमने तो आज किया, बट हम कोर्स में very frequently after every chapter हम करते हैं, so that it keeps on happening. And yeah, like the WhatsApp group is there, so guidance is always open. So won't the syllabus be done mostly by now? No, right now we have completed general psychology, and important thing, from tomorrow we have stats classes also starting. So if you want to enroll in our statistics crash course, then you can enroll for that also. Okay, so you'll get to attend stats live. And the classes that you may have missed, there are recorded lectures for that, so don't worry. And also, we will be sending a Google form link on the group after this. And if you want your percentile rank, then you can fill the score that you got in today's session. So you will know what is your position and standing according to the rest of the participants. So there are some feedbacks from our previous students who have secured admission in different colleges now. So these are authentic feedbacks. They've also written the scores that they got and the places where they got in admissions. So as I said, many of them are about to complete their masters also. I've met them like when our old students came to Christ campus. I was also studying there in second year, so I met them also. So yes, this is the feedback. We have written our website details in the PPT also. You can check it out. All the course details of the video feedbacks, the written message feedbacks, everything is there. And now I'm opening the floor for questions. If you have any questions regarding the entrance preparation, regarding the syllabus, regarding anything, then you can just ask us. I'm here for the next 10 minutes and then we can close and I will see you the next Sunday after this. Till then, if there are any questions, you can just ask me.
Ma'am, I had a question regarding the CUT preparation.
Yes.
Uh, should we use Cicerelli or Passer? Because a lot of people use Passer and a lot of people use Cicerelli. So there are contrary reports as to which should be used.
It depends upon your personal preference, honestly, because I personally prefer Cicerelli because I just believe the way how information is presented and the use of diagrams and flowcharts just makes Cicerelli a better choice for me. But that doesn't mean either of the books is bad or worse or inferior or superior. It's just about what works for you. एंड दोनों बुक्स में ऐसे 19-20 इंफॉर्मेशन का डिफरेंस रहेगा. You will find a piece of information in Cicerelli which may not be there in Passer and Smith and vice versa. So it's just about finding the book that works better for you, right? So you'll have to experiment and find that answer for yourself. But my personal pick is Cicerelli.
All right, all right. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, there is
Yes.
also a question in the chat box that says, can you suggest books for PYQs? So, can you suggest some
So
books?
I
Ma'am,
personally, yeah. So you can refer to objective psychology, GRE psychology, AP psychology, all those books are there. But the problem with them is that they have some incorrect answer keys. So you'll have to keep on verifying and rechecking the answers. Moreover, the questions in those books are not specifically catered towards PG entrances. Those are random questions which are applied to NET, GATE, MPhil entrances also. So that just creates a lot of ruckus. So that's why we have our own question bank where we have filtered out the questions necessary for the PG level and our answer keys are also verified. So if you want, you can, you know, take part in these MCQ sessions. You can enroll in our courses if you want. We have 35 mock tests, as I said. Do we have assertion reason questions for CUT? Traditionally, they do ask it, but in the last year, they didn't ask many of such questions. Is the stats course part of the master's prep course? Should we sign up for both? You don't need to sign up for both. If you sign up for the full master's entrance prep course, then you will automatically get access to stats also. Then you'll get access to everything: general psych, stats, testing, biopsych, abnormal, lifespan, counseling, everything, social psych, IO, everything you will get in the full course, even biopsych and testing. So, are there any more questions? If not, then we can close the session. I'll see you all the next Sunday. Yes. And if you
can
want to, just let me finish. If you want to enroll in either of the courses, you can DM me or Manvi. Manvi is by the name All About Psychology on the WhatsApp group. Both enrollments are open for the PG course also. As I said, the discount is ongoing for 8,000 right now, and starts classes are also beginning from tomorrow. So if you want, you can just enroll by tonight itself. Also, tell me one more thing that today I believe we solved some 15-20 MCQs because I wanted to focus more on the explanation part. So from next time, would you like the session to be like this only, or would you like me to cut down on the explanation and focus more on the number of questions that we solve? So basically, it's a decision of quality versus quantity. Do you want more number of questions but with no explanation, or do you want less number of questions, difficult, interesting questions with explanations? So, what is your pick? We will design the next session accordingly.
Ma'am, more number of questions.
Let's hear from the rest also. So I'm waiting for you to respond in the chat box. Would you like more number of questions with no explanations, or would you like less but interesting questions with explanations? Okay, people have started responding. I just noticed. Uh, do send the form for percentile. Yeah, I will send. But it's useful only if everybody fills, because I cannot find percentile with very small sample size. This is better, less question, balance both, explanation. Uh, okay. We'll also send a poll on the group so I can just clearly see the responses like that.
Ma'am, I have shared a list of the topics that are there in the syllabus of our CUET PG. Can you, I know I'm asking for a lot, but can you just suggest books for each? So I'll just note down.
I'll respond to this answer in the WhatsApp group. You can copy paste and send it over there. It will help others also who are not here right now.
All right, ma'am.
Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Okay, I believe all the questions have been responded to. So, on that note, let's close today's session. It was very fun for us to create the questions, to see you responding so enthusiastically to all the questions. So, we look forward to this honestly, and it was fun. I hope we can, keep on meeting each other every week and form that connect. And if you really like this session, then maybe we can just, respond with a few hearts. It makes Manvi and me very happy. So, yes, I believe she's gonna take a screenshot of this and post it on story. That's why we just love this. It's positive reinforcement for us also. So, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So, I'll see you all next Sunday, and all the best. I hope you will revise whatever we have studied today. Okay, bye. Take care.
Bye, ma'am.